Good morning, welcome back to another video. For today's vid, it's pretty much just going to be a little bit of a day in the life, productive version at 26 weeks pregnant. So I have been to the gym already this morning. I just forgot to film a little intro to this before I went. But yeah, I'm just going to try and have a productive rest of the day as well. So I just thought I'd bring you along. So it's nearly 5:30, I'm just about to leave. It's a little bit of a walk to the gym. So I've just got a couple of snacks. Pre-pregnancy, I wouldn't usually eat before going to the gym this early in the morning because I just wouldn't really be hungry and I'd eat when I get back. But obviously because I'm pregnant, I just want to make sure that I've got something in my system before training. So I've just got a banana and a little cereal bar. I'm about to meet my auntie now. I'm going with her. It's about a 25-minute walk to the gym. And then I'm going to do an upper session, which I'll try and film. It's always really busy at this time of morning in the gym. So I'm hoping that I can get some footage. So we had a nice walk to the gym. It's about a 25-minute walk there and back. So it's always good when we walk to the gym because we get 50 minutes of walking in as well. I went with this all pink fit today, and here is baby girl looking ever so big. Today's session is a back and bicep session, which I was really looking forward to because I feel like I've not trained it in maybe just over a week. So I'm just making sure that I've got a nice straight back. I'm driving the bar down with my elbows, keeping my lats engaged, and I'm also making sure that I'm not swinging back too far as that takes all the tension off your lats. I'm bringing the bar down to between my chin and upper chest, and I am also making sure that I'm not locking my elbows out at the top, and I'm also getting that big range of motion at the top as well, making sure that my lats are nice and stretched. Then I moved on to another fave back exercise, which is a seated row. I've had to go with a really wide foot placement on this exercise because I feel like my bump just gets in the way. I'm officially at that stage in pregnancy where every exercise I do has to be done with a wide stance. I've got a nice neutral back and I'm bringing the bar forward. I am leaning forward slightly to get a big stretch across my back, but not to the point where I'm swinging the weight forward and taking all the tension off my back. I'm driving back with my elbows, really focusing on trying to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Then I went in with a barbell bent over row. I've got my feet shoulder width apart. I've got a nice bend in my knee and I'm hinging forward at the hips, keeping my back nice and straight. And then I'm driving the barbell up through my elbows to just below my ribs. And then the last exercise of the session is some dumbbell bicep curls. And I'm just making sure that my elbows are staying tucked in towards my sides to keep the tension throughout my biceps. On the walk back from the gym, I did nip in Tesco and just grabbed a few bits, and then I was home for just before 8 o'clock, just in time to log on for my work day. I was really hungry by this point, so I had some breakfast and a decaf tea, and my hyperfixation at the minute is crunchy nut. I am just obsessed. I've been having it for my breakfast every morning for the past 3 or 4 weeks. After a big few-hour work block, it was then time for my lunch break, so I did a little bit of cleaning and tidying up on my lunch break. So I started out by stripping the bed and putting that in the wash, and then I started some hoovering. Then it was time to wipe everything down, so I cleaned my dressing table, the mirrors, my bedside table, and anything that was dusty, I wiped it all down. I made it nice and fresh. The weather was absolutely gorgeous today. It was really sunny and quite warm, so I made the most out of this and hung the washing out on the line. Then it was time for lunch, so I made my absolute staple, which I eat pretty much every day. I made some bagels, avocado and poached eggs. There was no way that I could have sat in the house when the weather was like this, especially because I work from home. If the weather's nice, I've got to make the most out of it and sit in the garden and get some fresh air. So I took my lunch out there and I sat out for a couple of hours and just enjoyed the sun. After another work block in the garden, it was time to have a little 10-minute break, so I came and got a refreshment drink. So I had a nice peppermint tea and then I took that back outside again and I sat and had that, and I also read some of my pregnancy book whilst I had this drink and just chilled. Then it was time for a little late afternoon snack. I cannot get through my day without having some chocolate or something sweet, so I've got this little box, basically a little stash of chocolate, and I just had some of those. Then it was time for the worst job ever, which is actually putting the fresh bedding back on. Doing this whilst pregnant had me absolutely panting and sweating my back out. I honestly felt like a bowling ball. I actually had to lie down and just take a breather before I carried on because I was just so out of breath. Despite it being an absolute graft to put it on, I honestly felt like I was doing the Olympics. It was so nice at once. It's on and the bed's made and it's nice and fresh. The fabric softener that I was using is absolutely, it smells delicious. I can't remember which one it is, what scent it is, but it had my room just smelling so fresh, and there's nothing that I love more than a nice fresh bed. After all that hard work, it was then time to make some tea, and I made my absolute favourite tea ever today, which is fajitas. So I just chopped up the chicken, added the fajita seasoning and chopped up some peppers and threw them in the frying pan with some fry light, and then that was pretty much my meal done. I added some salsa and some cheese to the wraps as well. Okay, so I'm showered, I'm fed, and it's now time to just wind down and chill for the night and get an early night. Today was the first time in months that I've done a morning session since before I found out I was pregnant. Obviously with pregnancy you've got the fatigue and stuff like that, and I've really been struggling to sleep, so I've not been training in the morning. I've just been doing evening and weekend training when I do train. So I thought it was gonna hit me like a bus today, getting up at 5 and getting to the gym for 6, but I actually felt really refreshed and I just had such a productive day, and I didn't feel the need to nap or anything like that. So yeah, but I'm definitely getting tired now, so I'm just gonna have a really chilled evening, and it wouldn't be the end of a productive day if it wasn't for some nice skincare and pamper. So I'm just gonna put this simple hydrating sheet mask on, and then once that's been on, I'm gonna put some eye patches on, as early get-ups and no sleep definitely bring my bags out. And then I'm just gonna wind down and chill for the night, which I'm really excited to do. I'm gonna read some of my book and probably watch some Dexter. I have seen Dexter before, but I'm re-watching it at the minute. It's literally my favourite TV series, but they're taking it off Netflix, and I just feel like Netflix is really taking the piss now. It literally takes all the good stuff off there. I feel like I can never speak when I'm putting these on. I have put these in the fridge. I love having just a really cold mask. I feel like it's so refreshing, and I just feel like it really depuffs your face when it's cold. They are so scary though. Like my family literally die with laughter every time I've got one of these on. They think I look crazy, which I do, to be fair, but it's worth it for a nice little pamper and to get some nice hydrating skin. So this is just going to be me for the night now, just chilling, let this do its thing, put my eye masks on, and yeah, just get an early night. After I did my face mask, I went in with some skin and body care, so I just used my usual Bioma, and then I also used some body oil on my bump and some cocoa butter on the rest of my body, and then it was time to get the room nice and cozy, so I shut the curtains, got my purple lights on and lit some candles. Then I just made myself a nice hot cup of tea, and then I got into bed and read some of my chaotic book, and then I put on some Dexter, and that was me done for the night. Thank you so much for watching this day in the life, and I'll see you in the next video.